Hey guys, welcome to The Good Show, episode 13, powered by Asus, where yes, we obviously have no dress code, and of course we are a little bit late. But Robert Olin in chat, also known as Boss DH, shut the fuck up, you shouldn't care if I'm late. You should go ask your oldest daughter how late she is. You worry about that. So let's move on and welcome everyone to the show. Semmler, how's it going?
Well, what's up, Robert? Come at him.
Go on, let's just get into it.
Let's go. Good times. I'm doing well, man. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Yeah. Oh no, I'm actually not good. I'm really fucking tired. Right? I've been flying my ass around trying to do like lots of shit, and when I came back, I started working this morning, and then I got to like, I don't know, it must have been 2-3 o'clock, and I was just like, I can't stay awake. No. So I slept, and then Trance walks in my room and goes, get your fucking ass out of bed. Show starts in half an hour, and he goes, oh, and your room stinks. I think the cats have shat in the corner. Because we've got 4 kittens, and basically I was really pissed off because I went to London for a meeting, and then I went to go get my suitcase, and I opened it up, and there was like, the cats had used it as a litter box. Yeah. And I was like, fucking kittens trying to sabotage me.
Dude, everything. They've pissed on the fight sticks for Street Fighter and everything, man. Like, they just go everywhere.
So if anybody wants kittens...
Why do you think I've got like the disinfectant on that shit, man?
Can't say I didn't tell you.
Yeah, it was not a very good advertisement for the kittens, is it? But yeah. So yeah, this show is obviously going to just be, as every other show, unexpected. But actually, Gamnang style put me in a good mood. But I personally think that we should get Twitch TV to invest money to do a parody and call it Gun Run style, where Gun Run's dancing around events, fixing stuff, like fixing streams, like little Gun Run style. I just think it would work. I think Gun Run Star would be the best parody. Yeah, it would work.
Massive.
We need Twitch TV to put in some money, and we need Gun Run Style. Like, it has to happen. He'd be the best at it, and he's also got that kind of look, you know, like similar.
I haven't seen the.
You haven't seen the video?
No.
Dude,
it's
awesome.
Seen it?
No,
dude.
How the fuck have you been living under a rock for the past week?
Yeah.
Oppa Gun Run Style. All right, so let's introduce our regulars who are on the show once again. It's, of course, Hellspawn and Newman from Rakakar, DreamHack, Hellspawn, and, of course, Team Dignitas, Newman, as well as, I don't know what else you work on. I was going to say what your real job was, but it doesn't really matter. No one cares about real jobs here. So how's it going, guys?
It's good. Good week. Really good week.
It's really hot.
Yeah.
It's like the weather is so humid, so it's crazy. But haven't happened that much in eSport. Yeah, I think over the weekend.
Well, we had some big MLG event. And,
but I mean, overall of the week, I think, of course, the weekend with MLG was really great, but
it's been a quiet week.
Kind of quiet. Yeah. I think everyone is loading up for the fall, when we're going to more or less have multiple events every weekend and so much in between.
Yay. Yeah.
What's on your t-shirt, Newman?
It's amazing, isn't it?
What is it?
It's Mario and Sonic. Olympics.
Yeah. Olympic Games. Is Sonic faster than Usain Bolt?
Of course he is.
Yeah? Well, he runs at 27 miles an hour.
Yeah, but I mean, Sonic runs in like 100, doesn't he? I don't know.
Who would win between those?
He's probably faster than Mario, though.
Yeah, Mario's in the high.
No, Mario would have a flute. And then there would be lots of little
stars.
pipes on there. Yeah. There would be lots of pipes.
But when we went live, we had elite number of viewers. I think it was cool.
It's a sign.
Turned.
It's a sign that the show is going to go downhill. It started so well.
Most like shit.
It's definitely not going to get better. All right then, guys. So I think there was some decent news, obviously. You guys have obviously watched MLG. Trance, go on, Trance, walk in front of the camera, Trance. Trance, just do it. Trance, fix it, Trance. Go on, walk in front of the camera, Trance. No, walk in front of the camera.
I didn't know the old camera was here. And the new one is like...
We've got a new camera and you can't get to the guests. That's Chance's gold chain.
With this fucking, pimp chain.
If anybody's missing a gold chain, Chance has probably stole it. But yeah, okay, we're fixed there.
Do you want me to fix anything?
Chance will do it. No, he wanted to adjust the camera, but it's okay. It's fine. Yeah, so
That's good.
What? Huh?
yeah, we were
Check
actually
my room on the table.
Yeah, what were we all talking about?
There's a lighter in there.
Oh,
We
okay.
had like 5 lighters out on the table earlier. Where did they all
Wait,
go?
guys, do you have a show? I need a lighter, please. Can you hold on a minute?
Stop the show.
Why should people
Just
come
record.
down? It's like someone walks down and be like, "Hey guys, what you doing?"
Is this live or not?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it.
Yeah, so it was still a pretty big weekend. MLG Summer Arena happened, as you all know. Apollo was there, and we actually were thinking of getting Apollo on the show, but he is jet lagged, and we asked him what he wanted to say about MLG Arena event, and basically he just said that Delta Airlines suck. Because
Like total 4
it's
hour
nothing
delay.
new, man. If you're going to travel, sorry, American Airlines and all the other American airlines. I try not to purposely fly American Airlines
But they're cheap.
because they're really old, the planes, and
Delta is shit though. Delta is like the worst of the fucking worst. That's like third world country right there.
Delta's
But it's
terminal
American,
in Los
so
Angeles
go figure.
is impressive, though. The Delta terminal in Los Angeles is impressive.
What?
It's so huge. They have their own section.
All that space gone to waste.
I don't know.
Who flies
It's just
Delta?
great to breathe.
you're really serious about that comment, aren't
Yeah,
you?
yeah, no, it's like-
you're like
I was
I'm
impressed.
Is he
Like,
trying
you're
to
like-
troll me?
you're like
I was
one of,
impressed.
yeah. I don't know if you're trolling or if it's just like 1 out of 13 planes crash. I don't know if that's
I don't
true, Gunman. I hope not.
1 out of 13 plays. What?
That's not true.
that's a
That's
lie.
fucking a lie. Yeah. Gunrun misinforming the chat.
This is how bad the start of the show was for me, by the way. You know, I've got a shirt on. Basically, I'm just like wearing shorts that I slept in. Ready to host. And my hair, God. Right.
You really need to get a haircut, James.
Dude, I need to get a lot of things. Okay, so let's get into it. So yeah, MLG was on. Tasia won, but we can have a little recap with... are you banning people? Oh God, someone just got banned from chat. Semmler just banned someone from chat. No,
Wait,
you.
this week, how are we doing? Are we having the Semmler segment or the trans segment?
I
or-
don't really know.
I don't know. We're just
I
gonna
don't
hit the
know.
ground.
We're going to go
running.
into the news.
Figure it out.
All right.
We're going to go into the news, but we're going to just take a long time because it's such a good news segment. It's the best news segment Semmler's ever prepared for any show. So
Yeah.
we're just building it up, and we know that even if we talk shit now, Semmler is going to save it because that's how good it is. So here we go then. What everyone's been waiting for, what you've all been talking about, why you tune every week to the Good Show, episode 13, is, of course, what happened last week with Semmler, the motherfucking riot.
Peace. Word up. No.
That was the horrible...
Oh my god.
Yo, West Side. No, we got whatever, dude. I mean, we got StarCraft 2. It's funny that you guys mentioned that events are stacking one on top of the other because we had 4 major events happen this weekend. We had WCS Russian Nationals, in which Roxka's Titan takes first place. What's up, motherfucker? That's right. Titan finally deserves some fucking respect, and he took first place there. He is such a hard worker. He is such a beast. So I'm so happy to see him take first there. He's going to be going to the championships with a paid flight. Happy and Slivko take second and third, so they will be getting their paid flights as well. But congratulations to the 3 of them. They definitely deserve it. They are the hardest working motherfuckers in esports, so congratulations to them. WCS Ukraine Nationals happened as well this weekend, with Bly taking first place, Acer's Bly. White Raw takes second, and Strelok takes third, actually. And that's pretty cool to see that Strelok is actually getting back into the top of things there. He's getting his paid flight, and... we haven't really seen too much of him since his big announcement that he was going to destroy FaZe at the beginning of the year. So I'm really happy to see him, make this, and he will be competing in, of course, the European Championships. 5K was on the line there. Top 2 earning seeds to the European Championships.
So
And,
White Raw from Ukraine got
White
second.
Raw got second. Bly got first, actually, and Strelok takes third. But let me see. Actually, there was a side note that was pretty cool, is that... this is actually, with Bly taking first place, this is the 3rd player from Team Acer to actually win a championship in a row right now. Because with the other 2, for the Poland Nationals, we had Nurcio, and for Canada, we had Scarlet. So Acer actually making really good calls as far as player selections and taking champions right off the bat. So 3 in a row for them. We'll see what the 4th has in store for us. Naturally, you guys all know MLG Summer Arena happened this weekend. Paulo, our homeboy, was there. He was casting. He was the weatherman. Kept you guys all informed. That's why there was a freak storm at the beginning. Naturally, if he's involved. But Tasia, Liquid Tasia, takes first place there. So congratulations to him. Unfortunately, Alicia takes second again. So hopefully we're not seeing like yellow, where it's like forever second place. But Alicia, just not being able to clinch it. He did take a map this series. It wasn't like a sweep at the NASL finals where Stefano just destroyed him 4-0. So, congratulations there. But still, second place for Alicia. First, coming in third. And Oz, we did take fourth place. So what's cool about this is that the top 16 players, despite the fact that maybe you're not in the money, the top 16 players are still getting seeded into pool play at the MLG Summer Championship. The bottom 16 get bracket placement. Also, just to inform you guys that Stefano, the Foreign Hope, took 5th and 6th with Locira. So, unfortunate that we couldn't see Stefano go all the way. He had a great Saturday, but Sunday just could not clinch it. So, better luck to him next time. And, of course, wrapping up StarCraft 2 for this week, we had the finalists for GSL Season 3 Code S that were decided this past Thursday. Sick matches. If you haven't had a chance to watch them, go do so because they are definitely worth tuning in for. Of course, the big name match was MC versus Dong Regu. Nuts. MC's PVZ is disgusting. So definitely tune in for that. It's going to be MC and Seed competing in the finals, and that is actually going to be happening this Friday. So we'll get to the coming this week a little early here. But this Friday, MC and Seed will be competing against each other, of course, to take the Code S Championship. Dong Regu and Beyond fell in the semifinals. So unfortunate for them, but it does mean our first PvP in the finals in GSL history. So that's something to tune in for. I'm definitely looking forward to it because PvP is fucking interesting. Let's see what else do we have. We have Dota 2, and actually not too much news in Dota 2 this weekend, but we did have some upsets. In the defense last week, Quantic took out Na'Vi, put them into the loser bracket. So Na'Vi, already one of the best teams in the world, if not the best, already put into losers. That is quite a big upset. Quantic really, pulling through and taking the win there. And also, we had CLG take out MTW, the DreamHack Summer champions, took them out, put them into loser bracket as well. So, the semifinals are going to be they're going to be... That's right, Mouse is going to be against CLG, and Complexity will be going up against Quantic. So that's going to be one hell of a semifinals. And also in the Join Dota Open, Space Monkeys took it. The Join Dota Open 5. Last but not least, Bloodline Champions, Unbalanced Combatants take first place in our own tournament here hosted at the Good Studio. They get $300 and bragging rights for the month until the next one. But guys, that wraps it up for last week's news.
Yeah.
We're just going to hop into the big topics.
Yeah, no, thanks, them. And I think we should probably start with some MLG, just to kind of give a little talk to it. It's a shame that maybe we don't have, like MLG available to us like DreamHack, because I think it was a very good event, and we don't really have anyone to talk to. Unfortunately, Apollo's jet lagged. Oh God, I'm dying. Okay, so MLG, I watched it. I thought it was really good. I thought the production, again, has gone up. I like what they did with, do you see the touchscreen TV?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean they keep
With the
improving
replays?
little bits here and there, basically every event. It's really good. I thought it was a bit, I don't know, I didn't feel as hyped for this event as the previous ones
No,
for
I
some
agree.
reason.
I think the
I don't know
starting
why.
field was weak compared to the ones
Yeah.
before. We didn't have Marine King or Dong Regu, and not
Yeah.
MC either.
And a lot of the European players were a bit they were unknown basically. They weren't the fan favorites.
Maybe they were good players, but who hasn't
Yeah.
breakthrough, I think.
Yeah. So
But
it's
to me,
weaker
I
field.
think the production, I felt it was actually one step down on most of it compared to the first arena, which I think maybe was the best one, and also the second arena. Was this the third or the fourth? I think the fourth, right?
1 second, I might be mouth breathing. It's probably
anyway, I don't know. I didn't enjoy it as much. Maybe it was because I didn't have the premium this time, which I have had in the past, of course. I did like, of course, the screen. I think it added a lot. I think though they could have used maybe a better program to use it. They had it looked kind of not so good at some segments.
Which part?
I think that they had some basic Windows program to show pictures, which they then draw on, and you could see like the background program they used.
The one thing you can see the frame of StarCraft.
Yeah.
The edge of it.
But overall, I think they when I looked, I think they used it in a good way, and I also think that it added extra value to that analysis part, because before it felt like sometimes they threw over the word to the other guys, and they didn't have anything to bring. Now at least you can look through the game and you can like point out. I think they doing it so fast on the fly. I saw some, like, I think it was Day 9 did one segment that I saw, and I think Apollo did another, that I thought, like, shit, they really understood the game and could, like, give it to the public so fast in a good way. Like, even though it was fast forwarded through it, they talked about the game in a really, really good pace.
Yeah, and that's a feature that's really good for, good for esports as well.
So I liked it, overall.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's like, it's always what they should have had was some actual footage for the analysis desk, which they originally had, but having them stand up in front of a touchscreen TV was, in my opinion, an expensive way to do it. But obviously it was something you remember from the event, so it kind of worked that way. And Axlav, was there as well. And
was it TriMaster and Axlav? Did they have a third, or was
they
it only...
had TriMaster, Axlav, I think that was it. Apollo, Day 9.
Is it me with my mic still?
All right, because I think Axlav did a really good job. I think TriMaster was a little bit nervous in the beginning, but he seemed to step it up, especially for the second day, I think. I just watched like some hours, had some break, did other stuff, and then watched some hours. So I didn't follow the broadcast through.
Yeah, it's one of these things where, I mean, all the different events are trying to up each other as well, and I mean, they did something that no one else has done before, basically putting a touchscreen there with analysis, so it's an interesting move.
It's crucial. It really is crucial, allowing the casters to be able to draw figures on there, be able to delineate where the unit should be, what was the best position to attack into. All of that is just, it's about damn time.
Yeah, it's bringing a bit of the Day 9 stuff he does into like the post-game analysis. It's good.
One point I think was really bad was actually the Observer this time. I think it was not on top at all on the same level it had in the past.
I don't know if it was JP, but it wasn't IWBC, and IWBC handles his shit, so...
I heard it was JP as well.
To me, it also looked strange in the way that at some point it felt like, I think it was DJ Wheat who was like the play-by-play or main commentator for that segment. Didn't seem like he could see the actual Observer screen or something.
It wasn't JP.
No.
JP was doing the analyst camera thing. He was loading
all right. But anyway, I felt that something was missing compared to what they have done before. Didn't look as smooth, and I think that was my critique into the arena, because like the first arena they did, I think they like put up the bar so high and they kept that on, and I think they to some extent had a worse experience this time.
Did you notice they used an observer for this event, or?
Huh?
Did they use an observer at all for this event?
Yeah. That they used, I think.
They did.
Maybe they used someone inexperienced, I guess, then. So it's,
I mean, Gunman also brings up a good point. The casters, it's only recently that everyone's like, oh wait, Observer helps hugely about, and so the casters have been, used to observing themselves. And Trance, I moved the microphone away from my... look how far it is away from my face.
You were not breathing.
I was not breathing.
Is it this far? Yeah, look.
Wait, I'll fix it
I
then.
moved mine as well.
Fine.
No, well,
I'll just take it off. I'll put it over there. Then no one can hear me breathe.
I could also go through some of the results. For me, it was a big one that Cytoplast looked really strong against Hero. Yeah. But he fell through. I think he could have won, actually. He looked kind of good. And also sort of defeated actually first, who came third. So sort of did the first good game. I don't know how it looked against Skansi, and then he got knocked out. I think he should have defeated Daisy, even though Daisy is good. Daisy is a Korean who lives in Germany, I think. Playing in Esk, I think.
Yeah.
So, and the other Swedes which I followed, Sase didn't do so good, and Cytoplast got also knocked out.
Looking at Sase's result, he kind of failed, to be honest. Looking at what people expected, and he was like, did he lose in second round of lower bracket, maybe?
Yeah, I think he won his first game right against someone who might have been Goody. Yeah. Of course, a good achievement, but I mean, he should defeat Goody.
Yeah.
But then he lost against Puma, I guess. Lucera and then Puma. So hard games, of course, but you should expect more of him.
People expect.
I think one of the big stories as well is Tasia winning. Because coming from Team Liquid, how old is he? He's one of the youngest members of Team Liquid. Isn't he like 19 or... Do you want to click him on
Yeah, let's find
Liquidpedia? Oh, maybe we can't get to him. But I think he's 17, that was it, yeah.
He's 17.
And he's Terran, so that's... 17 and Terran.
Yeah,
17.
exactly.
So that's like that's just
there
huge.
you go, you're Terran saying you're weak.
There's going to be a lot of Terrans studying
It's
replays
also 17. Like, how many people can we remember from Quake that were able to win a championship at the age of 16? It's only like, Cypher and Kula. Avec. Did he? Was it a championship he won?
Yeah, but there's like 15 people playing Quake as well.
Didn't he win at ESWC?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe not. Maybe.
I don't think it was ESWC. But it's just the fact that if you can actually pick up a tournament at the age of 17, it's just that is such an accomplishment. Yeah, Leenock as well. Didn't he do? Wasn't Leenock 16 when he?
I think so. Or Korean counting is kind of hard, as he can compared to the Western world. It can differ with two years.
Yeah. Another one that we need to mention, actually, I think is First. Because he had a terrific run.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to find who he knocked him out in the first one. I wasn't able to watch that match.
He got knocked out sort of to the loser bracket.
That's it.
Then he went through Snute, Top, Puma, Gansey, Alive, and Losera. Yeah. So that's a great
insane.
run.
A decent run.
That's insane.
And of course,
it's a lot of PVT, but yeah.
Apparently, Leenock was 15, and also Flash won the Star League when he was 15.
That's right. Flash.
But that age, and then he turns into what he is now. So Tasia, I think, is just a huge talent, and I've heard a lot from Team Liquid how he is, in their opinion, probably potentially by far the best they could have on their team. Yeah, if he can control his nerves and stuff.
They picked him up from Slayers, right?
Yeah, he came from Slayers.
Yeah.
Which was a bit of a side story between him and Alicia. Seeing as how former teammates going up against each other.
To me, also big ones is of course Hero, Oz, Rayong, and Violet keeps performing, but of course Stefano he still brings a good show to the Westerners, and we should be so glad we're still having him around performing this good and being so consistent with it. I think it's really impressive.
Maybe people are learning his style now, though. I don't know.
But they've said that 1 year ago or 8 months ago, I think when he won ESWC.
I think Idra was one of the people that said that, when people get his style, he's,
he would be nothing.
Yeah.
I think it was late summer or beginning of fall, Idra said that.
Yeah, because what I'm hearing, he doesn't even practice that much, so it's...
He doesn't. No, he doesn't. But, I mean, for the longest time, he was the most studied foreigner in all of Korea. I was asking Korean players, and they're like, oh yeah, we all look at Stefano.
They probably still look at him as well.
They picked him to shreds. They picked him apart and really just tried to figure out what made him tick. So it's no surprise that it's really only the Koreans who can measure up to him right now. Yeah, they put the work in to counter him.
I do think that it might be like Stefano says he doesn't practice, but he do practice. I know it's kind of common along the pro gamers.
I think you went to the last event, which was that? Was it NASL?
NASL
from Paris, where he couldn't play at all for a week.
I think he said 2 weeks. He hadn't practiced for 2 weeks, and then he just came to NASL and destroyed everybody.
Yeah.
Anybody else do pretty well from the foreigner scene? Because Sase was at MLG, and he's been quite up there recently. But the only thing I remember from Sase at MLG was it complaining about admins?
Yeah. I think it's old habit of Sase, knowing him from a Warcraft 3 career. He was always having lots of arguments if something changed or didn't follow the rulebook, which I do think is correct. But I think as a pro player, if you focus too much on what the admins do or not do, I think it's easy to lose focus.
Yeah.
I think that's why you should have always a manager with you who can actually take that kind of debate, so you as a player can keep on focus on the games. Yeah. But I think Sase has... I don't know what happened with MLG. I know he has been having critiques about WCS. I think we talked about it 2 weeks ago or something like that.
I believe so.
I think someone just bumped into him when he was playing.
But that's so crucial. I can understand him. Yeah, that was
somebody bumped into him.
Bumped something like this once. I mean, I don't think it's that big, to be honest.
Really?
I think it is, because some players can refocus really fast, but when you're in the mode and you're 100% focused and you lose it, like what happened to me, is that I get furious. I could throw things at my parents. I could scream at them. When you lose your focus, when you're really into that important game.
It depends on what part of the game you're in as well. I mean, if you're in a crucial fight, it's obviously really important. But you really need to be able to refocus as well if you want to be a pro player.
But I think SAS is one of those like Grubby and like some other guys who like 2 hours or 1 hour before the game goes into a mental mode where they just focus up to it.
1 second. Trans won't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm having an interesting chat here.
You're having an interesting chat. Have it outside, dude.
So I just think that it can affect SAS a lot. And I think that organizations overall do lack a serious admin level. I think that
the reason for that
there is a lot that can be
done.
done.
A lot of them are volunteers as well. So you can't really.
I don't know how MLG runs.
How do you kind of? What do you mean serious admin level? Like what's?
Yeah, but over the years, and I think it's still around. You see wrong decisions which shouldn't have been done. You see different treatments between players. You see all kinds of different stuff, and I think that something for a competition of this level you should solidify so it's always having a good standard. And I think that it needs to be done. So Kespa, they had really good rules, at least at keeping the same level. But people also complain, like, if you type something, you get disqualified and everything like that. But, I mean, Stefano, for example, he types a lot in the game. Most people think it's funny, but he can face opponent who get tilted by it. Yeah. Well, I think it's good to have a rule where you should not...
James is going to be acquainted with this, though, seeing as how he was the one who fucked with his opponent's heads on purpose.
Yeah, but I just think, like, that's not a bad thing, man. Like, I don't think typing... I mean, okay, well, this isn't about rule sets, but, yeah, I mean... It's good. I mean, hell, I used to, like...
Do a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Basically, no, when I used to... this is a really shit story, but I was doing this when I was very young. And I used to play a game called Mech Commander, which was fucking awesome. And you used to get artillery strikes, right? And your artillery strike could either be like 6 or 12 seconds, depending if it was small or large. And then when you put the artillery strike down, imagine basically you're playing StarCraft and then there's a red circle and it has a countdown and you only have like 3 seconds or 6 seconds to move your units. But because you had units everywhere, you had to see it on the minimap. So what I used to do was I used to put my artillery strike down on my opponents and then chat to them. And when they went to click chat tab, they didn't have minimap up. So they wouldn't be able to see my artillery strikes on the minimap. And then I'd blow up their fucking mechs and they'd just start raging at me and quit. And I was like a 14-year-old kid. I was like, yeah.
I mean, in Counter-Strike, what we did, not me, but I have friends who did it, for example, having a script. So when you knew you had the enemy on the opposite side of the box, you pressed just a say command, so he looked down to see and read, then you just went out and shoot him like 1 second or half a second after you typed, because he will react to something was written in the one-on-one situation, and then he will be unfocused, so you get like an advantage of some milliseconds.
Yeah, like I think chat is really crucial in games because, like, for example, I once played Toxic, and I was playing him, and he did something like to me where he just destroyed me, and we were having a pretty close game before it, and then I just said, like, nice. You know, I gave him a compliment mid-game. And then one of my teammates was watching, I think it was Strider, and he was like, don't compliment your opponent. Because as soon as you just tell him nice, he's going to think, like, yeah. And then he's going to go on with maybe even more confidence.
Yeah.
And, like, some people say... in like the start of some games in StarCraft, if someone's typing at the beginning, they know that they're not building a certain certain thing because they have to build that split second.
I don't think typing should be illegal anyway. I think
typing is
like
a whole metagame, man.
I kind of like it. I mean, it depends on what you type as well. There should be rules for typing, but it should.
That's why, like, I don't like booths so much, because if I was in a booth, right, I would be pissed off because I would want to be in a booth facing my opponent, right? So when if I landed a nuke on him, who landed the nuke on there was a really good nuke
was that against Lucira?
There was I was actually like outside smoking and I was just watching MLG.
Yeah, you just heard us go, oh shit!
And everyone was like,
fucking got nuked!
If I would want to be in a booth opposite my opponent, right? And then after I landed that nuke, I would like stand up, knock on my window, and then just kind of like do some sort of dance. And then stare him down, and then sit back down and play again. And you can't do that. That's why I really like the shit.
Have you seen Dota, competitive Dota? Those guys are like completely wicked. Even
Competitive
before they
data.
get the kills, when they know they get the kills, they stand up and they scream and they taunt and they're like, "You
Is that
fucking
DreamHack
suck!"
Summer?
And they just scream and like everybody's cheering. And it's really funny to watch that
Dandy,
because
dude.
in Counter-Strike or anything, you're so focused and attached to a computer. But in Dota, you can play and stand. They don't even care. They just scream.
Yeah, but that's the
like
thing. Like in
fucked up.
football, it's like you know that those guys that on the pitch are sometimes talking shit to each
Yeah.
other to wind the other one up. Some people do it more than the other, and then they get head-butted into the chest.
Yeah. If you know, certain Italians may base their entire strategy on shit talk. Take the
actually,
best
no.
player on the opposite team out.
Italian football. Do you want me to tell you? Like, Sturmy, right? Sturmy was in the Italian, like in the Italian football team when he was younger, and he was told in a lineup, right? When you're in a lineup, basically what you do is you like take your hand and you put it on the other guy's like ass, and then like and like to make them kind of like lose their, and they were like, that's what the coach taught the Italian football kids to stick their fingers up each other's bums in a fucking line. I was like, Italian football, oh dear.
Have you seen Slapshot from 1977? The ice hockey comedian, where they like in the warm up when they're circling around the ice, someone like looks strange at one of the Hanson brothers. So when he's circling around, the next time he'll smash him down and they start a fight. So when they're having the anthem, everyone is bleeding and stuff like that. You should
No.
Slapshot from 1977.
That movie is the best. It's like when they're putting foil on their fists, and cuts it up, and they fight putting the foil on, boss. Yeah, so good.
They from the amateur league.
Ice hockey movie from the 70s sounds really interesting.
Yeah, just to mention, Sturmy's coach probably won't be invited to his wedding for psychiatric reasons. Not that Sturmy's getting married anyway. But yeah, okay, we kind of spun off on the topic there.
Fine, 60 million until the end of the season, perhaps.
But yeah, so MLG overall, I think it was a really nice event again. Happy for the players that were there. I think the exposure was good. Camera work was good. I liked some of the new stuff. Maybe Observer upgrade, but overall it was a
Do we
good
know
event
any
for StarCraft.
like viewing figures and stuff?
Well, there is actually something
There is
obviously
an
about
article.
viewing figures with MLG where they got actually published. We can go into
That was the championship though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, but we don't know about the arena, but they're still free as well. Anyway.
I just thought interesting to me was that they had the MLG player, they had Own3D, and they had Twitch TV. Own3D, I saw between 2 to 1,000 viewers. On Twitch, I saw between 2,000 to 9,000 viewers. But of course, they promoted their own player, so they had most of the viewers.
Yeah.
But
Well-
did they release any numbers?
Well, they didn't release any numbers for summer. They're waiting for someone else to release numbers first, and then they'll do it like
All right. But
about an
2
hour
seconds
later.
after.
So if you want to know their numbers, Hellspawn, just announce some bullshit numbers for DreamHack, and then there will be a
5 minutes later.
Sundance will have like a phone call. There will be like a special phone. Like he's got like a special phone,
Massive red phone.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like a red phone, and basically it only rings when someone else releases numbers, and then he picks it up and he's like, "Who released? What did they say? 7 million? We'll do 8 million." And then he posts whatever it was. But they did actually release numbers from a Spring Championship Sunday. This was on thenextweb.com, and basically it was a kind of boast that, well, it's not really a boast, it's a statistic, and it's a good thing. The esports events now attract more young male viewers than the Rose Bowl. We can come up to my screen just so you can see where it is.
Yeah, Rose Bowl, just clearing it up for the Europeans, is one of the biggest events as far as American football is concerned.
There's Rose Bowl.
Yeah, Rose Bowl is one of
And
the biggest
then
events of
there's
the year.
MLG. And then what's BCS Championship?
Yeah, they claim to have hit 1.35 million uniques on Sunday. At least MLG do. So that's what's backing that statistic up.
What's BCS Championship?
It's right there,
Bowl
Bowl
Championship
Championship
Series.
Series. So probably a Super Bowl or some shit. I don't know. I have no idea.
What's the Sugar Bowl? That sounds nice.
The Sugar Bowl?
Sounds delicious.
You got the Fiesta Bowl,
Fiesta Bowl.
Sounds delicious as
Got a
well.
lot of bowls in the
Yeah.
Orange Bowl.
Orange.
That one's held in Miami.
I thought the Orange Bowl was one of the biggest ones, but apparently not.
No, Rose Bowl I thought was actually the biggest. But
is Orange Bowl? No, I'm not
18 to 24 year
going
olds.
to try to go into American.
Yeah. So 18 to 24 year olds this was.
Yeah. So I mean, getting this on this site as well. This is one of the bigger websites for the web people.
It's really nice.
So this is really good. And it's not one of those random Forbes blog articles. This is a really good story.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one of the big advantages of like MLG, similar to like what Twitch does for streaming, is MLG have the power to go out and kind of put esports out there. So they've done a really great job with that. So well done, MLG.
I mean, they had 4.7 million unique viewers over that. Wasn't that event? Or was this spring one? Was
This
it
was the
summer, the
summer.
last one?
This was
This was
spring.
summer.
No, that was
So
spring
this was the
championships.
first of the...
That was
No.
They started with winter,
Yeah, winter, spring, now it's summer, and then we have the summer championship and rally.
Sorry. So spring one was Anaheim, where we have 4.7 million unique, which is, I guess, the biggest broadcast ever.
About, unless DreamHack tops it, DreamHack
No,
Summer with TV.
no. We did not.
No?
We did not top it.
Alright.
But to me, still, with the arena, I miss the audience.
Yeah.
I think I
At
understand a
least
lot of
some
the
audience
cost and so on, but the question I want to ask all three of you is that, do you think that less people tune in online to watch an event with no audience? I think that's some truth into it. I feel like that.
Perhaps.
I
Less
don't
emotion
necessarily agree, but I do feel that the audience keeps you there longer because you enjoy the atmosphere when it's a live event with an audience.
Yeah.
Like when I'm watching NASL and the Canadian audience were there, it was, for me, it's kind of fun to see how they react to the stuff they're watching live. Not necessarily me looking forward to the next game. It's like, so I think that I probably watch longer, like NASL, and it was fun when Froden and the other guy were having like production problems. Did you see that part?
No, sorry. I missed it.
Basically, there was like having sound problems, and then they had to like reduce the sound from the main stage, so the people at the back might not been able to hear the commentary because of the players in the booth or whatever. And basically, when you're a host or a commentator, what happens is you obviously have an in-ear, right? And you're meant to be able to have some training where someone can talk to you in your ear, and you can still talk about what you're doing with your co-host, and then you register the information without going, okay, 1 second, just being told by producers, 1 second, okay, we're going to lower the sound, but then instead just have that conversation and then be like, okay guys, we're just going to lower the sound, and blah blah blah. So it was really funny to see less experienced hosts handle that situation for me, because it reminded me of a long time ago, but it was good training for them. But I just think what was fun from that situation was how the audience was reacting as well, and it kind of kept me watching.
It's easier getting engaged in the games as well when you have an audience that you can listen to as well.
When you have the crowd mic
it's one of
going,
those
you can hear them.
psychology things that I learned in school. Basically, you have these comedy shows where they have laugh tracks on. And they actually do surveys and stuff, and then when you have a laugh track on a comedy show, people at home laugh more. If people laugh on the show as well.
Yeah,
I mean, it's one of those things. It's going to be a lot more.
It's not because it's the same laugh tracks since the fucking 70s that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, also, Iron Squid, I only watched it actually because of the big audience, and I was so hyped of what.
I mean, because we're doing ATIS ROG, and it's more of a TV studio production, so we don't actually have that live audience, but I'm focusing on making sure that... No, I'm focusing on, rather than the audience atmosphere keep you, we're going to constantly have players on stream, so we're going to basically keep the players as the stars and the attention with the interviews and guests on certain things. So, because I think a lot of people do enjoy, other than the audience, is actually just having that interview or that conversation with the pro gamers, and so we're kind of trying to use them more to make up for not having an audience.
That's exactly it.
And we're going to have a laugh track, that's right.
But also, Home Store Cup, they don't have an audience. I would say it's one of the most watched tournaments because you get such a nice environment.
Exactly, the camaraderie pulls through on that.
Yeah.
Especially since we miss out on signs like "Huck the Police." So good.
I think one thing they could do at MLG is to maybe add a smaller audience or something, if they move locations at least for the arenas.
That could be. I mean, it was deflating to see Tasia win in a convincing fashion, and then just have a bunch of lights flashing and him stand up smiling.
No, because it doesn't have to be a huge audience.
It could be a smaller CBS audience or something.
I mean, because we're
going
off on a whim here, but we're moving the studio after August at some point, so we might have a week off content, and we're going to rebuild the studio. And I'm actually going to rebuild it where we have seating for 10 viewers, and so our subscribers in Stockholm or people that want to come watch can just kind of book and you know, and book like a maximum of 10 people, and then when we do shows like this, you know, you can have a small studio audience that you can interact with, and it just makes it a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
I know it's not the same thing as like NASL, but it's
It would be neat, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like some of these like American talk shows where you can talk to the audience.
well, we just have like a big TV for them on the other side of us, and then put a webcam on it, put down a couple couches, allow 10 people maximum. They come watch, and we only do it on like premiere shows, and then maybe give them a goodie bag when they leave, you know, with some t-shirts. And
Of course, you can heckle me. I'm sure that'll
And
be
you-
the big draw. That'll be the big draw for those fucking 10 people.
It's gonna be Semmler versus the chat.
Semmler is the chat live. What'd you say, motherfucker?
Just like jump over the table.
Oh my god!
Semmler would have to take
You
on
have to
10.
put Semmler in the cage, baby.
You gotta like,
No, but
strap
it's
down.
not
I
bad.
can't use my hands right now.
It's not bad if it's only 10, because the thing is like
you can take 10 of them.
sometimes it's like you won't see the audience, but they might like laugh or they might heckle, and then at least you don't have to have the camera on them, but at least it adds a little bit of atmosphere.
Yeah.
And so yeah, whatever. 10 is what we can get. I just want like a group of friends, like, you know, one group per booking, and then so.
So first, our MLG
right.
segment.
Yeah, so that's our MLG segment. We've turned
Okay,
it into
what
what
we're
we're doing
gonna
at Asus and other shit, so we
But
just
we
stole
should comment
that
on
segment.
WCS, I think.
Huh?
Just really fast. The WCS one?
Yes,
Titan. Motherfucking
Titan.
boss.
My main thing.
Titan or Bly? Or WCS in general?
Yeah,
What's
but
your comment?
I didn't watch it. Did anyone of you see it?
No, my only comment is it's amazing, WCS. It's really good that they do these events all over the world, and it's really good that people actually show up for the events. And I mean, it seems like most of the events are really successful. And
Australia was sold out like really fast, I think.
yeah, like 30 minutes. And then the only thing I'm wondering about is Ukraine. What happened to the Maga? Did they even try and qualify?
No, we could check that.
Wait, wasn't the Maga...
Overall, I would just say that I think that, especially I think in the Western world or America, they don't understand how good these Russian and Ukraine players are. They know some about the Ukraine ones, but I think the Russian ones, I mean, top 10 in Russia are really strong players. And we saw some of the best players coming out, of course, Titan Happy and Slivko, but I could also, like Livesurg or Roll or Aristeo, Palmy, some of the other guys, really good players. And we don't have Breath of K, for example, here, which I think is maybe one over the last 2 years who has been the best Russian player.
I mean, it's a really strong scene.
I would love to see the Russians go to American events more. I don't know if they have been there at any occasion.
Visa.
Yeah.
Of course, it's hard. Yeah, I don't understand that, but I mean, we have been pleased at Remake having so much Russian players over the years. They always been a dominant force. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know about
I
Maya,
watched
actually.
I watched a bit of WCS Ukraine and Russia. It was produced by Cyber Arena Cafe, same people that do Star Ladder, and I thought it was really good. And their hosts could speak really nice English and obviously, you know, Russian. And when he was doing the intros, he would switch between to make sure everybody knew what was going. So you didn't feel like left out of the loop if you were watching
really
a Russian qualifier. So he was very casual looking. He looked like he had a beach shirt on and stuff. But it was actually really good. So Cyber Arena are always, in my opinion, impressed. I just think they have a lot more experience and vision than maybe people know.
Their streams and productions are impressive.
Yeah.
Because it feels like they haven't put so much money into it. It's just that they have good guys who really wants to run the show.
Oh, yeah.
That's my impression from it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
I
better
get
than
the
the
same
Remake
impression.
productions.
So
I
that's-
think there's a similarity.
passion.
Oh, the other thing I want to ask about WCS is that, like, because obviously it's great that Blizzard take StarCraft and esports to different locations, and for me it's like they get to support esports by supporting the developers, but I also feel that one of their primary goals is to make sure that, like, everybody gets a bit of StarCraft 2, everyone gets a bit of hype in their countries, to keep the interest of StarCraft 2 up before Heart of the Swarm comes. Because the budget that goes into WCS would have to be a very small % of what Blizzard actually do. So it's impressive that they've got it, and it's, but it seems to me like it's a very big marketing tool. But it does support esports in a way that they actually give money to the current production teams around the world, like DreamHack, MLG, and ASL. But what my question is, ESL, but the question is how profitable do you think it is for these companies to take up that project? Because if you look at DreamHack, you're doing the Nordic ones.
Yep.
When's that? Is that next
weekend?
Next weekend?
Or no, this weekend. Sorry.
This weekend.
Sorry.
Yeah.
This weekend,
Right. You're doing the
only
Nordic ones
Tuesday.
next weekend.
28th.
And what else have you got to do shortly afterwards?
So for the DreamHack organization, we had to push the vacation. So we're having vacation in August instead of July. And then we're having 2 events in September, the Continental one, and then the week after the Ace Open.
So
in
do any of
Valencia.
your events suffer by taking on this extra work?
Both yes and no. Of course, doing more events, you cannot put as much focus into the other products, but it also brings us more. We can bring in more people into the projects.
And so then, I know you're not going to tell me, but like the thing is taking a WCS contract for DreamHack, is it more beneficial than taking sponsors for ISO Open?
Oh, that's so hard to say.
In terms of financially, like does because obviously if someone came to me and said,
I mean, I look at it in a long perspective. It's not only about the short term, and like having the DreamHack Open and having ASO and AMD Sapphire and Logitech as sponsors, which is important for us to bring good connections with our strongest partners, has been really good for us in the long term. And building the DreamHack brand, going out to Valencia, going to Bucharest this year is really good because we cannot bring in so many events in Sweden extra.
okay,
So doing the Nordic Nationals and doing the Continental gave us a possibility to do it already this year, to expand what we're doing in Sweden and doing more StarCraft. Because we cannot we need to do more events, like maybe 7 events for this year. We would have maybe had double the budget, which no sponsors at the time are willing to give us, or we cannot find finance of it. So
okay. No, I was just wondering because it's one of those things where like you weigh up the workload against your current projects and if the money and the team can handle the new one. Because at some point it might just be better for Blizzard to handle something internally sometimes, but obviously that's not their goal because they don't have that team kind of set up. But also, it's a good point.
I don't think they have it to run it in that big way. I mean,
not this year anyway. But
no, true.
Someone made up said a good point, which we mentioned as well. Andy TB said WS supports the up and coming players that no one else does, even though ISO Open.
Exactly. The Open.
But the thing is like because there's much more of the WCSs on a
global
more regional scale, it does allow.
And also what it does for the countries, like Australia, like United Kingdom. I would say to some extent to Canada, maybe National would have been there anyway, but having all these Canadian players at this event where you have all the audience also is great for the Canadian community.
Yeah.
And we have more countries which we should mention in this, but those 3 I think really benefit from having WCS.
Yeah, well, I just think
from
NASL actually going to Canada was a much smarter move because no one's been there for a while.
No.
So I just think that was just a brilliant play from NASL to kind of say, let's take it to Canada this time. Let's move on. IPL 5 EU satellites. They were held. This English says is held. Were they held or are they being held?
They were held.
Huh?
They were held.
They were held.
No one showed up.
So IPL EU satellites were held at the same time as MLG Arena and WCS Ukraine and Russia. So obviously they were held recently. Consequently, almost no one shows up. We actually have the brackets here that I can bring up on Challenge, which is a bracket system. So let's just bring up the brackets. We can have it on my screen now. And you can see that this is the IPL European qualifiers. It's a decent amount of players. You've got Dark Force.
Yeah, except
we're looking at
all
one
buys.
Mana, and they get
nearly all are buys.
Oh, is this like a lot of
One
buys?
is a buy.
Yeah, like more than 50%
Oh,
of the
if it's
games are buys.
1-0, it's a buy. Here,
Yeah.
so that's obviously a buy. So 1-0. Holy shit! So basically, in the first round, one guy had to play, and it was Johnny Rico. Johnny fucking Rico! And he lost the map. And then in the second round, 3 had to play, so that's 4 games total. Even the first round, they put buys, so there was 4 games played total, and then everyone... Oh, no,
So,
wait, I'm wrong here.
No, but...
3, 4...
It's 5.
You can say...
5 total games, and then they didn't have to play here because they qualified.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would
Holy shit.
though like to defend IPL to some extent is that, for example, if you're getting 35 players signed up and you want everybody to attend, yeah, you will get a lot of walkovers in the first round just to get everybody in. And also, this was a European satellite. I don't know what that means, but that's what they've named it.
It basically means you get a spot.
They did have the European regionals, which was in May. You should remember. They actually qualified. No, it was early June. Sorry, early June. So
what's Yoon?
June.
Yoon.
We're not talking about Street Fighter here.
Who's Yoon?
Oh, what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, that
1.5 months ago, anyway.
Was that in Yoon?
Yeah.
What was it in? Hellspawn?
But anyway, what I see though is that the attending field overall in all of the regions has been a really weak field of players.
Yeah.
It has not been as stacked as it had for IPL 3 or 4. So I think IPL has had a big problem with reaching out to the players. But also, you don't know when the IPL 5 will be, right? It's not announced yet.
I think they
and
said,
they did
I think they said
regionals
Vegas,
in
though.
May.
I think they said Vegas.
Yeah, but is it in August, September, November?
Yeah.
I mean, most of the weekends are already filled with some other major tournament. Yeah. So I think that IPL, I don't know, something has happened.
Well,
that's what I can conclude.
Basically, I said this a long time ago. I said IPL came out strong, and David Ting is probably a great engineer and designer for the league. They had some very experienced people working on there from like video and editing and overlays and graphics. But I feel that they had no one who was controlling the image and the hype behind it. And I felt that NASL came out weak, but with good image. And NASL have been able to kind of collect their, kind of team together and execute better. And NASL are pushing for second place in that kind of, North American space of StarCraft 2. And I also feel that like IPL, despite having a huge amount of contacts, probably are finding it harder than they suspected to, maintain a stable, in my opinion, because when I look at esports, I always try and build something stable. I don't like to say one sponsor left, I'm fucked. But with IPL, I wonder really what's going on. Because
they're struggling to maintain their market share basically in the US.
Yeah.
But I mean, we should also mention that they're putting a lot of money into League of Legends as well at the same time. So that might be why StarCraft is suffering over there. Yeah,
that might be. They have the main focus on League of Legends. But for me, my problem with IPL is that they are debranding themselves. They have like 100 different products. They have these fighting nights and they have these team leagues and channels, and I don't even know what kind of different concepts they have, but at least they have too many of them.
That's a really good point.
And I think they should mold down and just focus on these qualifiers for the IPL. The IPLs, I mean, that's the main product, the big events, and really making sure that everybody knows about these qualifiers, putting in a lot of production value into it, really building up the hype instead of having like 300 different kind of tournaments all over the weeks.
It's too much content basically and too many different names. It's like
well, you want a lot of content, but you want structure to it where people just don't want to tune out. And because the thing is, if they come in to watch IPL and then there's something new and something different that they're halfway in, it's like. But that's the thing about NASL, which actually kind of works, which was their model, which was focus on online content and make sure it's always season 3. And if you came in, you'd be updated. But with IPL, when I sometimes tune in, I might be getting a rerun of a team challenge or a fight night or
King of the Hill, whatever.
Yeah. So interesting to see where they go. So,
but I think they should basically concentrate on their team league.
Yeah, I think that team league was
that's the
definitely
angle that they need. That's going to set them apart from MLG, essentially.
Yeah. This might be biased though, but I think that MLG has suffered a lot with their online tournaments. They have had good showings, I think, but getting the results leaked 3 times in a row and so on and so forth. And I think Inter-Extreme Masters, I just want to go on a small rant, but Inter-Extreme Masters online qualification system, it's impossible to understand. Sorry, I really tried to look into it, and it's so hard. And then you have the Korean ones. You've had some of them, but then you have some more of them which hasn't been announced. And Liquidpedia, they know more or less everything. They really go into it, they cannot present it in an understanding way either.
All right. Yeah, well, we'll come back and we'll take a little talk about Into the Extreme Masters in a moment, actually, because they have announced their prize money. But yeah, basically, formulas are still being worked out for a lot of this stuff. And with so many tournaments, there's a lot of scheduling. And we had some problems with the ASUS ROG qualifiers. But actually, we filled the slots and it was a good tournament. But obviously, it was running at the same time as NASL. All right, so that's just before we take a break. We can head over to facebook.com.
Take the Nordic one this time.
Click the, someone's who's is that? Who's
Did
that?
you forget the button in your shirt, James?
Huh?
Did you forget the button in your shirt as well?
Say, something is opening.
Sorry, I forgot to leave it unbuttoned. Thanks. I'll tie it up now. Cold.
You guys just got a taste of what we have to deal with.
Babies
here on
are
a daily
crying
basis.
at the moment.
So, you guys, if you want to be fucking cool like me and wear a chain and win cool shit and get chicks on Facebook, you want to head over to facebook.com/ROG fucking Nordic. That's where it's at right now. And, well, shit, I'm not even on that page. That's just my thread. Don't worry, bitches. I'll get back to you in just a moment. I'm heading over to ROG Nordic because that's where I hang out. Where is it? I'm here now. And then there's still the competition. Wait, let's just close the chat. Fuck off, chat. And you can go over here and you can win potentially a very nice graphics card, courtesy of Asus.
I still wonder which model it is, though.
It's the Mars 2 limited edition. Says on the side here.
All right.
It's not the Yoon 2 or anything like that,
Oh my god.
or the Jupiter 2.
Jupiter 2?
Did you say Jupiter then?
No.
What did you say?
It said Jupiter, I
You
think.
said Jupiter. I think
No,
you put it.
yeah.
Hellspawn don't give two fucks,
Why
man.
should
He's
I
like,
just mention?
I will
So
pronounce
you
the
said-
letter
you
J
said
the way
Jupiter
I
now.
fucking
I mean,
want.
Yeah,
difference
it doesn't
is
matter.
I just...
It's alright, don't worry, we'll leave it. We're
Echo.
leaving this segment.
Echo James.
So yeah, it's head over to ROG Nordic and give them a like because they support us and that's awesome. And they make good shit because we use it on the studio.
Yes, we do.
Alright, so do that and we'll go take a break. And once you've done that, you're allowed to go do something else for a moment while we're in break. But until you've done it, you've got work to do. So good luck with your jobs, everybody. See you in a moment. Do the good show shit. Welcome back to the closed edition of The Good Show, episode 13, powered by Asus. Yeah, we took a little bit longer break there, so Trans paid you Gangnam style twice, which chat couldn't control itself, but now you're
Had
back
to go
on
into
track.
dance party mode, man.
We should also mention, I actually wanted to do this before we went to commercial break. Is it right if we play another video? Yeah, sure. Basically, Asus, did a nice competition in terms of some videos, etc. In terms like esport videos, and they had some prize money up for it. The winner that was on ES Reality, you can come to my screen, and I'll load it up in just a moment. Is Esports It's Our Life by Asa Parent, and it was really good. Have you seen it? You use on Rakakar. I'll play it. I was going to play this before we went to commercial, so I'll play it now, and then we'll take...
Isn't this an old one?
I don't think so.
I think it's been around for 1 or 2 months.
Oh, really? And they just like entered it in and said, yeah, we'll just get another $350.
Isn't it YouTube? If you just click on it, and then
Wait.
you...
Oh, shit. What?
Taken down by ESL. What?
Taken down by...
Footage.
They use
The
ESL
footage!
Without permission.
So basically, the guy that won it took ESL content, made $350, and he's gone all the way to
Easy
the bank
money.
in Russia. That's funny.
I might be wrong. They did something similar, at least. Like, this is esport, and we live the life of esports. So
I
Yeah.
thought it was a good enough video.
It was good.
yeah,
It was
I
good.
like
Well,
it
and
too.
I thought it was good enough that ESL would have been like, yeah, okay. Esports.
Was it
itself.
real?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the ESL is usually really relaxed with that if you ask them before.
Yeah, if you ask
Beforehand,
them, it's no problem normally.
But come on, Russians, are they going to ask people
No,
before?
Russians, they just do whatever they want to.
Yeah.
What can you do? It's the Russians.
Boom.
They arrive to your event, they just, we're gonna stream. It's no problem.
I'm actually downloading it.
You're downloading it? Yeah, because
It's gonna take
I thought I
ages.
found a new link, but it's gone.
But there's a link to download it.
This is the video. We can check.
Look in the chat. Let me
Oh.
alright, let me cancel the download and see if chat have saved us once again.
Gotta love the
This is the
chat.
video.
Yeah, boy. Nice job.
It's not
Wait.
just a game.
Is this it?
No, that's
No,
not
that's
the
not
video. Chat, you failed us.
Chat.
It wasn't chat, it was one dude. It doesn't matter. We continue.
There's a portion of the video.
Continue.
Portion of the video.
So where were we? Where's my document gone? I've got itchy leg. Okay, so moving on. Still in a little bit of StarCraft 2. Intel Extreme Masters announced their prize money for Gamescom. It's $31,800 and $800. It's
That's
actually,
just amount.
whoa, it's all the way down to 24th place.
But they've
that's,
always given them that, right?
Maybe not 24th,
No.
but they're usually really good at paying out to everyone. Unlike other.
Wait, are they
Under.
good to paying out?
No, they're really good at
You
paying.
mean
They're
this
really,
rate?
what? Distribute.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good at
Distributing the
distributing to
prize.
everyone, basically. I mean, not unlike other tournaments
Yeah.
that basically distribute to like top 3 or something, which is horrible.
So we
Heard
can
that
actually look at
before.
the prize breakdown on my screen. You got 6,500 for first place, a decent weekend's work, 3,300, and then third and fourth share. So there might not be a third, fourth game. Fifth to eighth, and then it goes all the way down to 21st to 24th is $600.
That's really good.
And
Yeah.
it's increased by $10,000 compared to last Gamescom.
Okay.
Of course,
also-
another format. They had 16 players at that time. But we will see they have also removed one game, Counter-Strike. The interesting part for this, talking about prize money, is that always before the season has started, they announced the total prize pool of the year, and that they haven't done this time.
They haven't or have?
Haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the total. I think last year they didn't have like $655,000 or something crazy
Something
like that.
like that.
They had a really big number. We will see if they have more or less money. We just know that they have removed Counter-Strike 1.6. They have League of Legends and StarCraft.
A really
That's
good
it,
thing
man.
with ESL as well is that they pay travel stipends to players.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
They pay
And that's
travel
on top.
only at CBIT, isn't it?
No,
CBIT.
if you go back to the news posts on the screen, you can see that they paid $350, I think, something like that.
Oh, they actually
Travel
pay a
stipends.
little bit into. Sorry, I'm at my
Oops.
document now. I'll go back.
Yeah.
Oh, each player will receive 600 travel support as part of his prize money. So
And you get 350 extra if you're from not from Europe,
Yeah.
basically.
So that's
Okay.
really good for players.
And that's
that
on
are,
top.
That's really good for players that aren't in big teams or that aren't in teams at all. So it's a really good thing that ESL is doing, putting some of the actual prize money into that.
yeah, that came
If you
around
want
a
to show-
while ago when ESL were like the only people available, and I remember talking to SK the Slash, who's the owner, and he was like basically saying, you know, they should maybe cut down on some prize money. Because at the end of the day, the teams pay a lot to get their players there, and then the prize money you take a percent, so it's performance related. So you only really want to send your best players, etc. But really, what ESL maybe should do was like take down the prize money, like, and actually just support some of the teams to get the players there. Because then the teams guarantee that they cover some basis, and it's more likely that they'll send their whole team rather than just a couple of star players. But
Why should you have teams and they have sponsorships of millions of dollars? I think if you just pay everybody to come there and the industry turns into that, then you shouldn't have any sponsorship of any of the teams either. Because the organizations, sponsors, and what's it called? All the money they get in,
I don't think
they pay for everybody else.
It doesn't help the teams that much. I think it helps the lesser players a bit more, basically.
But most of them have a qualification where you can get a paid trip. Maybe that's a good solution, like a wild card. But I see what you mean. But what I'm looking into is a competition, and a competition going to win money and prestige. If you get paid to travel there is a show, and there is not a competition. I think it's a difference between a show and a competition.
I mean, if you look at other sports, a lot of the tennis tournaments pay players to go as well. So
that's true.
There's a balance in there somewhere.
Yeah, and we see.
So what's your point, Hellspawn? You just don't think it's necessary for the teams, so it doesn't help the teams? Because it obviously does help the teams. But what are you saying?
Of course, but I think if you're getting paid everything, then you don't need a team. That's what I meant.
If Intel Extreme Masters was the only tournament ever.
No, but some of the organizations do pay for all the travelings for some of the players in some of the tournaments or partly in tournaments. Then they don't need to have a team. It's my point.
Team is not there only for travel money, though. It's for a lot of.
Of course not. Of course not. But if you're having them paying your
let's
flights,
not start a funny minute.
We can arrange it too.
Talk about this.
Let's move on.
And we acknowledge your point, Hellspawn. And any other thing to say about Gamescom? Intel Extreme Masters, nothing. We done.
I think it's gonna be cool. I mean, Gamescom also.
I knew you'd have something to say.
Yeah, but Gamescom is such a huge event. I don't know is that the biggest gaming what's it called? Exhibition.
Convention. I mean, it's really big. I know there's going to be a big
280.
I think that Gamescom has risen above E3 because E3 has gone down and Gamescom has gone up.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really big. It's going to be a big thing for esports as well. I know IESF, the International Esports Federation, is doing a big meeting there as well with all of the national. What do you call them? National.
And WCG gonna have a Dota 2 German qualifier with €10,000.
Yeah, it's gonna be a massive esports weekend, basically.
I have a feeling that there's probably something bigger in Asia as well.
Maybe Asia, of course. Everything is bigger in Asia when it comes to numbers.
Expo or something.
Tokyo Game Show, whatever.
I'm going to go to the E3 website and investigate.
But if you have the time, if you live in Europe, just try to get there. It's normally really cheap. Can be hard to get a room to stay at.
Yeah, it's probably already booked.
Yeah, so but the actual exhibition is great. Like, I've been to Gamescom twice. I love it. I think it's good.
E3, 5th to 7th of June. And doesn't say what the...
it takes up the entire LA Convention Center, E3. It's quite a big thing.
Whatever, it's really big.
Yeah, they need to learn how to do after parties though. Went to the Machinima after party at E3. Not that good.
Wasn't there a Twitch, or was that PAX? I think they're at PAX. No, I can't find it anytime soon. Let's check chat, and I'll see what chat are saying about E3.
I don't think anyone cares about this topic.
Well, I mean, it's like E3 isn't pro gaming or at all. It's not competitive gaming.
Well,
I guess we're just talking
about
what
Gamescom is, because there's like Nintendo.
There's ESL there.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, moving on from the Intel Extreme Masters announcing their prize money for Gamescom and not announcing the whole prize money for the year, which they normally do, and they normally have a nice big figure to start with. Talking about teams and how some of them don't need help. This one, maybe not anymore. EG have actually added a title sponsor, Raid
crazy.
Cool. So Raid Cool have announced that then the EG's new title sponsor happened last week, and basically money, because in my opinion, before we talked about all the teams, we talked about EG, Monster was obviously a big mainstream sponsor that probably allowed EG to expand with a very strong and well represented StarCraft 2 team. Making sure that they had the best from North America and Canada in many different ways. And now Raid Cool, who are a voiceover IP, I believe they're based out of China.
I think it's Chinese owners.
Yeah, Chinese owners.
But they're big in Korea, especially.
Yeah, but these guys have come in and been like, we can take title sponsor. And I'm like, holy shit. because Monster, in my opinion, was probably one of the biggest sponsorships a team ever got in terms of money.
Lifestyle sponsor.
In
Yeah,
terms
they
of
took
money
about
as well,
$1 million.
you know? Yeah, that's what it was rumored.
Yeah.
It was rumored that Monster was like a $1 million contract or something. But that might have just been a PR thing that got rumored on purpose. But either way, it's like Raid Call coming in as title. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know, and even more what the fuck, because Raid Call in the beginning of the year, I think it was in January, actually took the title sponsor of Fnatic. So Raid Call is having two teams which they are title sponsoring, which I think to some extent is a bad call, like not a raid call.
Well, that kind of depends on what.
Or maybe it's rated. I get it. It's rated.
Yeah, it depends on what their
Oh my
strategy
god,
is as
how
well.
when you're on a whole level of awesome today.
I think they're sponsoring Fnatic for the Korean and Asian market a bit, and then
Yeah,
they're sponsoring
Fnatic are much more
yeah,
famous out there.
EG for the American market. Now they're probably
'cause
looking for
the
one
first
for
thing
the
they
European
announced
market as well.
afterwards was there was going to be a question and answer session on Raid Call with Idra.
Yeah.
So that's they'd already done that kind of stuff with Fnatic.
Yeah.
I remember they did that at the beginning, but I just don't think many people use or buy voice over IP services anymore. I think
Skype has dominated the
Skype
scene
is
for
pretty much the way that
years.
people play games, unless you're playing like something with 40 people plus. But normally it's always like 5v5. So, I mean, do you guys? I mean, I'm just gonna ask chat because it's nice to get like a feedback. And chat, this is a live survey. Type what you use when you play games with your mates. You got Mumble, Ventrilo,
TeamSpeak,
Raid Call,
TeamSpeak,
TeamSpeak.
Skype.
You got Skype, Mumble, Skype, Ventrilo, Mumble.
I
Mumble
use-
actually seems really popular, but
But
Skype as well. So
Mumble,
Skype and
yeah.
Mumble are probably.
I
the
use Roger
two
Wilco. It's good.
best. Roger Wilco.
No, that was a troll.
I've seen a couple TeamSpeaks out there, but it's mainly
The King of
Mumble and
Sweden.
Skype.
But I think it's divided into communities like Battlefield and some of like how to say.
Better games.
Well, the bigger games
Nah, you
out
can
there.
say better games, but maybe the ones where you have bigger
yeah.
groups, but
Mega
also
Smash.
maybe not as competitive.
Snipes
They
and
all use TeamSpeak. It's like when I play DayZ, for example, everybody has the TeamSpeak servers.
I mean, it's like TeamSpeak.
Battlefield
I
is
mean,
really
personally, I haven't used TeamSpeak since I was raiding in WoW, and like that was like 40-man raids. And then you did Ventrilo because your raid could actually like afford a server. But that was like the only time you ever really needed it. Don't see the point to it.
In
Skype,
Europe,
Skype
it-
has dominated the scene for quite
in
some
Europe
time.
and in Sweden it has been Ventrilo and it has moved over to Mumble. But I think Skype is getting more and more.
Does anyone use Raid Call in this room? Because I haven't.
No.
No.
Probably
Is
never
anyone
will.
going to use it because EG picked up? Raid Call.
But just looking at EG, like for me, they had I think the Intel sponsorship of North America, which mostly I guess was a big one. Then it seems like Intel was tuned down slightly over like the last 1.5 year. The SteelSeries has always been on the same level. I think they went in a good segment, but Monster, I thought they were like the unofficial title sponsor in some way. It felt like they pushed Monster the most.
Yeah.
And now Raid Como's in. I'm looking into like, would Monster keep sponsoring them? They could.
They could.
But they won't get as much attention.
It depends on the ROI, basically. I mean, I think they're gonna push Monster a lot at events and stuff, and they're gonna push Raid Call a lot on online stuff, doing like
that's
online
true.
There's that-
chats, whatever.
It's also like Monsters that has a physical product that they can push live. They have the Monster bottles, they have the Monster cans. You know, that you see them, their stream, they're drinking Monster, that sort of shit. Raid Call, how exactly do you go about pushing it efficiently?
The only downside I see with EG is that they don't have a really strong like web presence. Their website is quite old, and not old, but it's like they don't have that big infrastructure where they can push
but
push
that's
people
something
to the
that-
Raid Call website and stuff.
I like the site.
Yes,
I
I
think
like the
that's
site, but they
like
don't have.
suitable for a team that's not trying to be like a news site and a blog site and a whatever site like SK was back in the day. I think it's more important that you get to follow the players as well as the like EG Twitter and stuff these days. You know, rather than
Yeah, but you need a hub where you can basically collect all the EG stuff and EG news, and basically, I mean, for Raid Call, they want traffic to the websites, and they need somewhere to push that traffic.
well,
from,
we're
basically.
helping them right now.
True. And they're gonna invest more into the Master Cup, it looks like. And I think Master Cup, when it started, was maybe one of the best after TSL 3 online tournaments, I would say. I think they've lost some of the touch, and like maybe the other online tournaments has gone to the same level. But maybe they can keep on pushing it even further to make
I
it.
think online tournaments around the 1,000 mark prize money losing their kind of sting.
Appeal.
And I think like you need to go up to like 5 to 10 consistently
But
now.
Master Cup isn't that
It is more
10,
prize money,
30?
But it's
Somewhere between
Masters
there?
Cup is definitely more than 1,000. But I'm just saying is what I've seen with online tournaments, and you know,
It's
Yeah.
basically oversaturation as well, in my opinion. There's so many online tournaments.
Slots on their fucking t-shirts for another.
Yeah, do they have
Yeah, I
slots
don't
on
know.
their t-shirts?
There's always more slots. Look at the Team Dignity t-shirts from like
Yeah.
Wider.
2 years ago or something.
They're gonna
It
have
was crazy.
stickers that they stick on their foreheads.
In Control,
They get into the
In
booth.
Control's had to sell a part of his arm for a tattoo because they won't get new t-shirts.
He's got a lot of real estate,
Yeah,
though, so it
he's got-
shouldn't be
yeah.
too much of an issue.
In Control can hold more sponsors than Idra.
I wonder what's happening in EG though. It's like, are they gonna buy 10 new StarCraft players? Are they gonna like get 10 extra games? Does Eric Scarfeld buy a Ferrari? Will Huck get like $20,000 a month now? I mean, how are you gonna have the when you discuss about the salary with your players? They say, okay, we got a title sponsor. We didn't have a title sponsor.
But we've
Double my salary, please. It's like,
There's that. They're just going to expand. I think they're going to continue expanding and trying
Into
to
what?
devour every top StarCraft 2 player
buy
out there.
Yeah, but-
25 with them.
Yeah, but there's,
Yeah, but
there's
that
new
means
games
people
as well.
don't
There's
like
CSGO to
teams
put
that
money
have-
into.
Huh?
There's CSGO to put money into. There's like
Yeah. But
More
like,
players.
the same thing is like people don't like teams that have too many players in a squad, in my opinion, because you get a little bit unconnected with it. It's like if EG had 10 top StarCraft players, you just want anyone else to beat EG by then. You know what I mean? You just be like, I hope they don't win because they're entering with 10, and you know you want someone else to have a shot
Yeah.
at it. And also, when they pick up the players, you always kind of say to yourself, you would think in a way, it's like, oh yeah, it was money that was the convincing factor to leave, and sometimes people, who
Well, look at Huck.
enjoy, yeah.
Look at Huck. That
But
was his
they- I
blatant
mean-
reason for leaving Liquid. Was like, oh, the money was too good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in my opinion, from like a business point of view, what they should invest in is a basic, a training facility and an office, not a random house in Arizona.
Can
real
you
office.
elaborate some of that?
Do you mean that they're going to set up one in Korea, like we discussed?
They might do that. They might put up a real office space somewhere. Because I mean, if they're doing stuff for Raid Call now as well, they're gonna have to invest a lot in staff.
I mean, they already promote their sponsors, EG, really well. One of the best
Yeah.
promoters of their sponsors. And they don't really need to go mental now they've got Raid Call to do even
Yeah.
more. They can just add Raid
They
Call
need
to what
to-
they currently do. And you're right, they could actually invest into something which is maybe going to help the team, the current team.
Yeah,
As
invest in
as
their
well as-
infrastructure
yeah.
basically.
Yeah. Look at you.
The thing, what happens now is that I think that EG is the new Meet Your Makers. Meet Your Makers spend so
Oh,
much money in
God,
Warcraft
yeah.
3, but they actually have the backbone. They can actually finance the salaries.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly.
what happened now, I think, is just that all the other teams got just really screwed, because now people's gonna say, okay, $5,000 a month, not good enough. EG pays at least
I
$7,000.
mean,
Well,
that's, even,
EG can now
that's,
pick and
not, that's
choose.
not going to be close to happening because most teams right now are basically cutting StarCraft budgets. They're not increasing them at all because they've been overspending for a while.
Yeah, but the players will just see the dollar signs from EG.
Yeah, but then they'll be teamless basically.
Yeah,
They
that's
can
true.
pay their own way tournaments. And that's
I
gonna be
think we're
funny.
seeing that at the moment. Actually, a lot of good players not finding a new team and taking a long time for them to find a team.
Yeah, it's natural. They expect too much for too little, basically.
I shouldn't say, but I just messaged EG and asked if they want to talk about Raid Call as title sponsor live on the show.
On Skype.
No, please. We only take recall goals.
Yeah, all meetings
Download
are
it.
now only Raid Call. So I don't think I'm going to get.
I wonder how much do you think they paid, James,
What Raid Call?
on a year? On the year,
The problem is
is it
like,
3 or
it's
5
really-
million?
No, but but that's the thing. Like, if Monster was rumored to be like as big as maybe 1 million, and their title, it means it's more. But we don't know if that's true for starters. But if you think about some of the players and you get rumors on their salaries, you do think that, like, even if they were paying 1 million Monster, like, all the salaries don't add up to that. So there's obviously a good chunk of money left over.
Travelings.
Yeah.
All the EG players
Traveling,
travel
the
more or less to
house,
all
But
the tournaments.
It's so and
Justin Wong?
with a Chinese sponsor, you just don't know how much money they're going to put in because they really have a lot. So it's kind of it's hard to guesstimate really, but If it is true of Monster, it's more than $1 million, and Monster's $1 million, if that was true, is basically more than some whole team's sponsorships for all their sponsors.
Yeah.
Most of them,
Certainly.
actually.
Yes,
certainly.
It's probably more than most. I mean, I can't think of any other team that's basically turning over more than $1 million.
Damn, I need to get to Alex and can I get a job?
E.g. Hellspawn,
Yeah.
Daisy Professional.
No. I want to run the business.
The one thing
You
that's
want
kind
you
of
want to run the credit card.
really.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, one thing that was kind of
1
funny
million
is
here and 1 million there.
coming back to our discussion about the Dota 2 team for the Starlighter season finals.
Yeah, it looks ridiculous at the moment. They didn't
Exactly.
send
You know,
them.
them claiming, "Oh, we don't have the money to back this up," and then a week later, "What's up, guys? We got Raid Call, title sponsor." Yeah. I mean, it's
Still, it's an ROI. It's an ROI decision probably.
Yeah.
And if they're investing a lot of money into infrastructure, which they should be doing, it's no.
What I do think is
correct
though
call
that
still.
they got the title sponsor, and for me it looks stupid that EG got it. I think that the EG brand shouldn't give a title sponsor, which means they must have paid silly money. That's the only conclusion to me.
So are they going to be called EG.RC now? Or?
Yeah. I guess.
you think
Alright.
so? Yeah.
That's what they do usually, right? Fnatic,
Title.
Fnatic. Did it drop now? Or Fnatic still though, right?
Yeah,
Fnatic
Fnatic
is
still.
still Darcy or Raid Call. That's
So happy days at
they're
least.
probably looking for a European team, so it'll be interesting to see who they pick.
But but at the same time, I am happy that EG do get these sponsors in a way, because I just
Yeah,
think
it's
they
really
do.
good.
I think they do a good job.
Yeah,
too.
I agree.
Because the one thing that is really bad, if Monster came in and sponsored someone like who's gone under already, it could be like, is it AL that went under, and
Yeah, I'm not sure.
it's just like it's good. So
Yeah, it's
but they
really-
haven't had to change their
it's-
name. EG, obviously, they're not like Raid Cool EG when they played.
I
We don't
think they're
know
going to
yet.
be like that. EG, RC, or Evil Geniuses Raid Call. It's a title sponsor.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what.
That's-
that's not what
that's
title
what it-
used to mean. It didn't used to mean you had to put the tag in there and kind of be Raid Cool Fnatic or Fnatic Raid Cool.
Yeah.
Title
Yeah,
was more the top spot, and we promote.
No,
you and
that's
do
a
more
head.
for you.
That's
Heck.
different. That's different for different teams. Some
Or main.
people call them like
It,
platinum
back in
sponsors and
Fnatic
whatever.
day, we
Premier.
never sold we had title sponsors and we had head
Yeah,
sponsors,
they
and
sold
main
out.
sponsors, and
Getting money
supporters.
has a lot of different names.
Ah, well, I have it
I
right
mean,
here.
I
EG.Thorzane.RC. That's going to be their new title.
.RC in the end.
Oh,
At the end.
Darcy.
.RC. Can I just sent the TSL4 brackets, actually. They've just been released for this weekend.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we have that to look over if we like.
All right.
I'll send you
So
a link.
let's move on into some just quickly. Let's do TSL4 because we're past the StarCraft 2 segment now. We've got Dota and Quake to talk about. So congratulations, EG.
They look fucking awesome, by the way.
And
These
I-
brackets. Holy shit.
Oh my god!
Did you see the funny brackets they released?
I've got the brackets on my screen.
The funny
now.
brackets? What do you mean the funny brackets?
When they released the news item about having this show, they put up the casters and they put up a fake one with like just StarCraft, Star Wars and funny names. And I looked at them like, I don't know anyone, but here's I am Yoda. I know that guy. And then I got fooled.
Fuck with you, yeah.
So it was
But
funny.
This is going to be brutal, man. There's not a lot of matches that aren't going to be sick here. I mean, Mana versus Hack, Sase versus Koka, Johnny Rico versus Naniwa. That's going to be awesome. Wellmu versus Keen is going to be sick as well. It's just Bishu. Oh, well, I feel kind of bad for Bishu. Actually, he's going
I wanna
against
hear
Tasia
Newman.
first round.
Like,
Bishu's
He's
gonna
going
be
to
brutal.
destroy it.
You see in the
Bishu's gonna
MLG
destroy
Arena
Tasia.
champion, do you like it?
Yeah,
What's
Bish
this?
is going to win.
You think on a scale 1 to 10 of all Bishop's career, how strong is he at the moment?
10.
He's
He's
actually
10?
he's actually really strong right
He's
now.
going to destroy him.
He's looking so good.
Where's Bishu in the bracket?
He's at the bottom left. He's right there.
Oh, he's just got to take down Tasia.
Yeah.
The last.
But
LG Summer
you would
Arena
say he's
champion.
the top contender for the WCS Nordic Nationals.
Depends.
Depends.
I haven't seen the brackets.
That's hard to call.
When is it starting? Show goes live July 28th.
Oh, perfect day.
On Sunday
What?
from here.
Oh, so we're doing Apollo's going to cast Sunday from
Yeah, he
here.
is.
Okay,
Well, these are online. This is going to happen online, people. So
Okay,
just so you know.
casters, but
I might have to be out this Sunday. I've got meetings as well.
we're leaving from
That's
Finland.
Saturday, by the way.
Oh, I'm leaving.
You
When
are?
am I leaving?
That's
for
the
Finland?
Nordic Nationals
Yeah.
day.
We're flying, we're leaving Sunday and times later.
But you're
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
One day early. But it's
This just turned into the meeting?
There's nothing we need to do.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So TSL4 brackets are up. Head over to teamliquid.net. Thanks, Kenny. Thanks,
Kenny.
Ken. Love that guy's name. Okay, so now we're out of StarCraft 2, so let's move into some Dota 2. This is actually quite, I think, a decent update to talk about, rather than sometimes when we talk about Dota, we just kind of say what's been going on.
Kind of gloss it over, yeah.
But basically, coaches are not going to be allowed in the booths for the International 2, is the recent update. And it kind of is... I'm not sure how this works, because if you remember MTW that won DreamHack, they had a coach.
Yep.
And he was sitting behind them the entire time.
And he was
right behind them.
Huh?
He also had one right behind him.
Yeah. Navi as well. So, and these coaches, they help timing, make sure communication's going, and I think they're a very important factor to a Dota team. Obviously, you don't necessarily have them when you're playing online, but they're not allowed into the booths at the International 2, which is that $1.6 million tournament, which is going to be held in August
in Seattle.
by Valve in Seattle, and that's I'm not sure what spawned that decision.
I think there's a couple arguments flying around where they're saying that it's going to be a disadvantage for the teams without coaches. Essentially, the main argument apparently is it's a disadvantage for the teams without coaches, and so why should they give an advantage to teams who have coaches when other teams may suffer from that?
Yeah, but we could all offer ourselves up at coaches just for a small cut.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm available. Semmler, Webpaz, definitely.
I think
I'm boss at Dota 2, apparently.
I also think that the Chinese team, I believe, will hurt more from this. From my experience, seeing eHome, for example, at the ESWC, their coach were really active. But also the MTW, like you mentioned. At DreamHack, we actually had to tell the coaches to sit down behind the team. And that was a hard call for them to understand, because their coach was so important to them.
Yeah, I think to take a step back, I think the important thing is that all the organizations need to use the same rules. You can't have tournaments that use coaches and tournaments that basically forbid them.
Comes back to standardization.
Yeah. I think my opinion is that I don't think coaches should be used at all, because I think the players should be good enough to basically be able to time that stuff themselves, and that's another skill level.
I can agree, actually. Looking back at the Quake 3 TDM. I mean, Unmatched, for example, they had one coach who just timed the items. Then all the other teams had to get the same. So, Ice Climbers, to compete on that high level, also had a coach writing down the timings.
I coached UNR at the Euro Cup 2004 TDM, and I used to sit behind them, and then when someone took RA, I'd write it down. And then I'd say when the next armor was, because I was the fifth man of the team, even though I was very new to there was much.
And that's just timings, and maybe you added some tactics, maybe. But do you think that it was good or bad?
It helped the team because I was just telling them exactly the second the items were coming up.
But for the competition, isn't it more important to see players that actually can also take in the information and keep the timings? I
think coaches are very important. I think coaches should be allowed in esports, and I think if it becomes the norm, it's because it's better for the players and it's better for the competition, not because it's make the players do everything.
Would you like to see in StarCraft that you have a coach standing inside the booth saying, no, don't do this, do that?
No, because that's not a team game.
That's not a team
only
game.
Team games, you mean? Yeah. But it should be influenced,
but the coaches
not on the
there.
Team spirit, maybe clap the hands and let's do this, you're doing good. You want to also have them in the tactical aspect.
I mean, the football manager shouts at people to make sure that they do stuff, and it's part of. I think it's important, and I also think it offers another in to esports.
I mean, if you take any major sport, they're constantly signaling. Take baseball, for example. The pitcher is always watching the coach because he's constantly signaling shit to him, okay, do this, do that, do this. Every major sport out there, the coach is actively involved with the players, even live. Granted, it's not 1v1 like StarCraft 2 is. StarCraft 2 is the exception, but the coach is outside waiting for them outside the booth to tell them you did this right, you did this wrong.
Even when Counter-Strike goes down to a one-on-one situation, the rest of the team... there was rules, wasn't there, in Counter-Strike where the team couldn't talk or something?
Yeah, after you're dead.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Did they lift that at any time?
It's different from tournament to tournament.
Yeah, that's the thing, because sometimes when someone died, they would quickly say what happened, and then they'd have to be quiet when their screen was black in Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
And I went to a tournament where basically I was sat behind Fnatic, and I didn't know anything about Counter-Strike, and they almost threw me out because I was just like looking around, and they thought I was looking at the other team and shit like that. But I was like, I don't give a fuck. But I just think that coaches, I'm fine with it just being a natural progression, and I think it's more of a natural thing than you say yes or no to it, because I think esports is built on what is better and more enjoyable for competition. So do you go against it? Are you saying no coaches, and you think that's...
Not really. I mean, it adds another dimension, like you said. It's just that it needs standardization, basically. It's a balance between adding a skill level or higher skill level to the players, or basically adding another dimension in interaction between players and the teams, and between the teams, stuff like that. It's
I'm liking to have managers and coaches around who can take care of you, like making sure that everything is run smooth, so you don't have to take the argument. But I think when it comes into the actual game, like in between, a manager and coach could come in, but when it's actually in game,
they can't.
I like that, but I'm not Nazi about that either. I could see having a manager in.
Yeah, but I enjoy that idea as well, because it's kind of like, if you look from a spectator point of view, you've got your coach, and then before the game starts, you've got the prep talk, right? You know, which is like, make sure you remember you're doing this, make sure you remember you're doing that, make sure you're doing this, and your coach knows what some of the players over the time have like had downfalls in. So he tries to remind them that to do what they have been trained to do, and then when he's out of the booth, you have chances to like interview him, you have chances to watch, his expression, in terms of like, the coach cares a lot, but he's left his team out there. So it's a really hard call to say. So I'm not really sure what would be better, but at the same time, it's fuck it. I have no answer.
It's
more
something
expensive to go to tournaments as well.
It's coming back to this standardization point where the organizers of the tournaments should actually get together and discuss what should be the standard, what should be the set of rules that all tournaments should report to.
But it's not a big enough factor yet for them to have that meeting. No. And if they did, then teams would have to have that meeting. And if they went, your coaches might be less important to the teams, so they wouldn't get to fly over, because it's just like they're just...
It's an extra...
They might just be a babysitter rather than a coach.
Maybe there's no right and wrong. Maybe it's just that you need to set rules. The international now said it. I think it's bad, though, that they say it when it's... Is it 1.5 months left?
I don't know exactly, but
1 month about. It's like mid to end August.
No, it's late August. It's in the shift. But I think it's too late. They could have sent that like almost in the invitations to the event. Yeah. Because I think that this one will hurt a lot of teams.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. So that's Dota news with the international number 2. If you can hear boxes being moved, it's trans. Next on our news is from Quake. Basically, Cooler has retired again. We might as well talk about this just to bring it up. If you go on to esreality.com, you can see that Cooler retires from professional gaming. A source is Great Frag. I'm sad. A sad day for me, as many others, I am sure. Okay. But it seems Cooler has retired from professional gaming after confirming he won't be attending QuakeCon. He is focused on his current job, sales manager of elite cars, Land Rover and Jaguar. Yeah. And is planning his wedding in August.
No. Like, he's really into luxury cars.
Yeah, but I mean, elite cars, Land Rover and Jaguar, I don't know.
Isn't that nice?
Okay.
The Jaguar is an old man's car, unless you get something that was featured in like some of the James Bond stuff. But then, I don't know if Cooler's going to fit missiles for you. Maybe a few rocket launchers and stuff like that.
The railguns on the side.
But you said, again, I don't think that he has officially said, I'm retiring from esports. I think he has said that I'm not playing. And I know for sure, because he was signed up for the DreamHack Summer, that he did play the game and he wanted to come. He didn't play it so much, but he was supposed to start to pick up his game because he wanted to attend. And then it turned out he couldn't because he had to focus on his job. So I think this is a new decision. And Cooler, for me, I think actually he's the biggest Quake star for me. Like I really love to see Cooler all over the years. I always cheer for him. He has been such a great character for the scene. He's like a real superstar. I think that if we had 10 coolers in the StarCraft 2 scene, StarCraft would be so much more interesting. For me, also with his achievements, he won a gold medal in 2v2 at WCG 2002, I think. He's won double ESWCs when that was the main tournament, more or less, 2003, 2005. Did good in Quake 4. He was dominating at one point, and cooler is always cooler. And
then over here on greatfrag.com, if you come to my screen, it says, during his esports career, Cooler earned almost $550,000 in prize money and sponsorships. So not too bad, but
that's
not
massive.
Great. But for Quake, it's good. But I just imagine Cooler selling your cars. Why do I want it? You want this car because it's good. You know, I drive this car. Buy this car. How are people going to say no to Cooler? He's got something about his persona, hasn't he?
Thing is that Cooler is one of the few guys that I got nervous when interviewing. Like, I didn't know what would turn out when going into the interview. I just know that Cooler could for sure put you on the spot, but Anthony's a nice guy. Shared a cap with him in Kiev. He told me some about his living in Russia.
I think the 550,000 in prize money and sponsorships was over 10 years, I guess.
Yeah.
You could say his career was really 10 years. 2000, not really. He wasn't always around up to 2012. So
no, I got such a great Quake story. It's that he came to Enköping, where they have a QH LAN. I think he was 14 at that time. He didn't know any English. He just got there. And he wanted to practice some games, so he went up to a guy he knew about, knocked him on his back, and typed down the console, pressed 1v1 ? And then went back, and then just dominated.
That's how he used to get his games. Yeah.
I think Ponderosa and Graycon were at that event.
Yeah,
I think the story's from that. But I mean, Cooler, such a baller. I'm gonna miss him.
All right. Well, we'll see if Cooler stays out or wants to come back in the future. But that's our Quake news for you. And it is quite big, as Hellspawn mentioned, because he is massive in terms of what he gave to esports. We've got ESWC American qualifiers. 300 teams signed up, and this is for the CS:GO. So in Counter-Strike Go, 300 teams have signed up for Counter-Strike Go.
That's crazy,
which is a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't even know people played in the US.
Insanity.
Apparently, though, I think you got beta keys if you signed up.
Oh, right.
Okay.
You got beta keys if you signed up.
That turns around the story.
That changes the story.
Also, I think CSGO is a lot more popular in the US than here in Europe. It seems like they're really taking it by heart, basically. They're trying to make it big, which is
I'm
good.
not pretty sure how strong the Source scene has been the last couple of years. After CGS in 2006, 1.6 was more or less dead at least, but Source has been strong.
CGS kind of killed Source in the US as well, almost. But it's
also
they're trying to pick it up now with CSGO.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens with that. So
there's a lot more optimism.
If you get
in the
beta
US.
keys, it does change the impact of the news item. So good information there, Newman.
Yep.
I just want to add also with ESWC and WCG, it's interesting that both of the organizations are turning more into getting partners around the world again. As I mentioned before, WCG is coming to Gamescom with Dota, ESWC having American qualifiers, and I think that ESWC is trying to get back into what they were before. Because 2011, I don't think they had any partners in Europe.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question for Trans. So Trans, what do you think of that?
I don't care.
Trans is actually just sat there producing while playing with new cameras.
Carry on.
Carry on.
But we should take the next step and talk about WCG though.
Why have we got a new camera? How much did that cost me?
Probably too much.
How
That
much
must
was
look
it?
sappy.
One of them wasn't
How
enough.
much was it?
Oh, just 1,500.
1,500 what? Euro?
Yeah.
Right. What do we need it, right?
Yes.
Right. We need it. Okay. Trans is playing with his toys. So then over on Rakakar, the news with WCG, so they changed their logo. This is put in. I don't know why we're running
Is
out.
that serious?
Yeah, apparently we can bring it up here.
What?
They made it in Patent.
So this is World Cyber Games. This is WCG, and they used to go with the rings. I don't know if this is new or old. These days.
there was what they have in the middle, I think.
Oh, in the middle? Yeah. Obviously,
Okay.
they're a Korean-based company, aren't they? So you can understand what's going on
Robots!
here. And then
But
they've gone into
that-
this.
That's
What?
what
I
the
mean,
fuck
to
is
be
that?
honest, it looks like if I was buying a crayon box set or something, I'd expect that in the background with colourful crayons.
But
Something you expect out of Toys
I think
R
you're
Us.
close, actually. I think it was the guy who's in charge of WCG from Samsung. His son was sitting down painting the frames like this, and then they bought him different letters. So he took a W, a C, and a G and put it on it, and the father was just, this is amazing. It's a sign. Let's make this into a logo. It's
Obviously.
so
Yeah.
good.
And
Nobody could say otherwise.
the owner was like, because he's the CEO, he was like, "You're so talented, son. I'm so proud of
Perfect,
you."
sir.
And he's
Perfect.
like, "What do you think of this, guys?"
Yeah, I want to keep my job.
Yeah, you're not allowed to disrespect
Invest
your
$1 million
elders.
into changing all the logos.
Looks like shit.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Let's go back to it
That
again.
can't be serious, man. They gotta be
Go back
trolling
to it
us.
again. We can actually just zoom in a little bit. You can see some of the crayon marks. There's a little bit of dribble there from the kid.
Mario Kart or
It
something.
looks like it's been sewed on as well.
Huh?
The letters have been big. Is it sewed or
Yeah.
sewed on?
I'm
It's
zoomed in
sewed on.
here.
But
Yeah.
there's no way that can be serious.
It's I think this gives a good touch of what WCG
Has
has
become.
in 2012.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Looks a bit like
this
the
is,
Mario
this is
font
what
as
they've
well.
come to.
No, they're just like, fuck it, guys. We're already a bit of a joke in esports. Let's start trolling the community. Let's make this our new logo. See how they like that.
I wonder what theme they're gonna build the site on.
They're gonna go out,
The
they're gonna
site's
go.
going to be like the kids' websites, you know,
Exactly.
when you go on to like, wait, let's go to what their site could be.
They're gonna
no,
try
they're gonna go out to, like-
5-year-olds to buy a cell
Exactly.
phone and play, and they can make paintings on it.
They're gonna go out to kindergartners around the town and just be like, "You have a chance to get your shit hosted on a site. Draw what you want," and like give them crayons and paper and scan it into the fucking site. It's a joke.
Wait. Wait.
I guess it's,
This is going to be WCG's new site. Let's go to mine. This is WCG's potential new site. You're going to have a WCG logo here in the different countries where you can qualify. It's going to be a similar color. Let's go in and see what we can do. I'm from United Kingdom. And let's play some games.
I think this is too fancy though.
No, this is what it's going to be like. It's going to be WCG's logo. You're going to have all the different games out here. Let's play. Which one do you reckon's good? Packers.
Go for package. Pick up the
Packer, pick up the packages.
Is
Be
it?
sure to stay on the road and avoid any hazards on the way.
Okay, Bob. This is going to be in WCG next year. So get training now.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on, but
beyond
I can't move.
the world side.
Oh, I
of
use my
games.
mouse. I use my mouse.
honk the
shit.
horn, honk the horn.
Shit, hit the packet. Yeah.
Is this the
I'm going over it. What the fuck?
Beyond the
I'm losing speed. WCG. Beyond the game. Da-da-da. Oh, cyberspace. I'm getting good now. Da-da-da. I want to go faster. Oh,
Oh,
go faster. Honk. Where's the strafe jump? Where's the cooler
For
rocket
sure it's
launchers?
a high skill
I should
cap
have
on
bought
this
this
game.
truck from Cooler's
yes.
shop. It would have had rocket launchers and been pimped to fuck. And I'm
Yay!
overline. Well done.
You're the WCG's
Gold
champion.
medal, WCG champion. Yeah. I'm off to Korea. Champion.
In cyberspace, driven by passion to
Okay.
win,
Perfect timing.
face to face. The challenge of a lifetime
Thank
stands
you.
before
Anything
us
to
now.
say?
Our champion.
In the shadow of the golden gate.
This was
Okay, so WCG new logo.
That's right. He got gold.
That's what you're going to see if you tune in. I'll be there defending my gold champion, my gold medal.
It's you and the Bushman.
Yeah. I'll be up against little Korean kids that train every day. I'll be like slapping them out. Right. So where were we in news?
Well, we're getting to the topic that everybody's been waiting for, mate.
Oh yeah. Is it that time?
It's that time.
Should
we torture them and take a quick break before?
Yeah, fuck it, yeah.
We'll be back in a minute, everybody.
When we come back, I'll be taking questions from chat on Reborn and talking to you as openly as I can without fucking anything over that potentially will stop me from getting everything sorted that I've got going on. So when I come back, yeah, we'll talk a little bit about Reborn.